Silver price and gold price, history is being made right now, today, as we're joined together live or as you're watching the replay of this recording. We have never seen anything like this in our lifetimes when it comes to the precious metals. We got a lot to talk about today. Things are going haywire at the big paper and electronic exchanges when it comes to gold and silver, but we got a lot of other reasons which will make us optimistic regarding the future of the precious metals. Before we get into all that, I want to introduce some of you to Schmitty. That's the blindfolded silver bear. Yes, he has a blindfold on that says $85. People said we would never take it off. I just want to be real clear with you. The blindfold comes off when the weekly close in the spot market on Friday is above $85. It's the same thing we did with the gold bear back there. Many of you remember he had a blindfold that said $2,500 that people said would never come off. And we took that off when the gold price closed on the spot market on a Friday above $2,500. So please stay tuned. I have a feeling this here blindfold will be coming off Smitty very, very soon. I'm going to put him down here for now. Unbelievable action. Let's go to China. We're going to look at the Chinese market. We're going to look at the CME. We're going to look at the LBMA. We're going to talk about all these major factors that are making worldwide history in the world of precious metals right now. But take a look at this and put a big smile on your face, guys, because in the Chinese market overnight, we had a close in the Shanghai Gold Exchange in silver, okay, in the physical market of $93.27. Absolutely unbelievable. History in the making. Let's run out and take a look at where we are right now in the spot market for silver. Up $5.93 today, 7.5% to a price of $85.89 in the spot market. Again, if we close above there on Friday, we will be removing Smitty's blindfold. But let's go take a look at the futures market where the price is $86.10, up almost 9%. Unbelievable. And while we're at it, since we want to keep smiling, let's go take a look at the gold price, which currently in the futures market is hovering up only $125 at $4,625. So what is happening? We are getting like verifiable reports right now that there's major stress in both the LBMA and the COMEX, okay? I'm going to share with you a short video about 2 minutes long, but this guy knows what he's talking about. It's with Clive Thompson and another gentleman, Nick Ward. Nick Ward is the founder of the Gold Bullion Partners in London, England. And I think this will kind of clear things up for us about what we are experiencing right now. Again, it's just about 2 minutes long. And here we go. This was posted by Mark. He made a synopsis again of this interview with Nick Ward and Clive Thompson. You can watch the whole thing on Clive Thompson's YouTube channel.
And while China, they are the world's biggest commodity buyer, while they're printing trillions to buy assets, the Western banks are reportedly sitting on massive silver short positions. And we're talking about 4.4 billion ounces short, Clive. That is a phenomenal number. With global mine supply every year at 800 million ounces, that means these banks are shorting about 550% of the world's annual silver production. 1 year's worth of production. So that's just a train wreck waiting to happen. But this January, it's not behaved like that at all. I think it was the first 72 hours of the month, we had thousands of contracts.
Okay, guys, so there's the bottom. Oh, hold on here. I lost you. Hopefully you can still see me and hear me. We're back. We're alive. We're in the basement. Before I forget, and I'm going to tell you the important points that he made during this interview, but thank you for being here. I forgot the most important part. That's you, right? Your time's valuable. It's a big honor when you decide to join us down here in the basement. That's me and our good friend. Everybody loves her. Upstairs, Susie, who likes to communicate via walkie-talkie when I screw things up. But please, Make Upstairs Susie happy so she unlocks the basement door. Subscribe to the channel. She only unlocks the door after we gain so many subscribers. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section. You're smart. You matter. You don't have to agree with me. That's how we learn, right? Oftentimes is by our disagreements. Anyway, subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Now, what he talked about, Nick Ward, and this guy's super respected, is this fact that the Chinese are printing unbelievable amounts of money right now. We're going to talk a lot more about that in the coming weeks. They're printing money, but a lot of that money is going to buy real assets, things like silver, things like gold. Is it starting to make sense now? If you could print money, right, wouldn't you print money, right? Print some of this. I'm not recommending you do it or anything like that, right? Print some of this paper money and use that to buy real stuff like this. A 1 ounce silver round from channel sponsor First Mint, where you want to go check out if you're looking to get your hands on some silver. But that's what the Chinese are doing. Okay. On top of that, but wait, there's more. So China's printing money, buying silver. We'll just simplify it. In the West, right, they're selling silver. They're short silver, 4.4 billion ounces, right? Like Nick said, and like we've talked about, that's like 5 years. They've sold it, okay? The banks, the big banks sold that amount of silver, so they need to buy it back. They did a short sale, okay? That's 5 years worth of all the silver mines, all the silver production for the world that would need to be physically owned to satisfy those shorts. It's incredible. Okay, there's no reason, there's no surprise, like we've talked about many times, that now, do you see it happening, right? The Chinese, we saw it happen last night, $93 silver on their spot market, that the Chinese have taken over the pricing mechanism for the silver price. It's unbelievable. But wait, there's even more, right? Here, we get this from Kitco. I'm trying to run through this the fastest I can because, guys, there's more. The things are breaking. It's unbelievable right now what is happening. Okay, this from Niels Christensen. Headline: CME's margin hikes. Remember that? They hiked the margins to kill the silver price like they did back in 1980 and in 2011 and probably during the C-19 crisis as well. But those margin hikes are just a smokescreen to cover major shortages in the physical market. That comes from Bought-in Capital, and there's two key paragraphs, one in green, one in red, that we want to focus on, that gives us reasons why this is so important. In a recent commentary published on LinkedIn, Jen Bowden, founder and CEO of Bought-in Capital, said that the CME's move to increase margins to control speculative interest in silver is just a smokescreen to hide a much bigger issue that will ultimately lead to higher prices. She said that she's looking for silver prices to rise to $200 per ounce. In red, to the untrained eye, the mainstream narrative will blame excessive speculation and a holiday flush. This, I think, was written during that period where they tried to manipulate the price down. When was that? Tuesday of last week? Thursday of last week, like at 8 o'clock at night. They are wrong. To those of us who have navigated the wreckage of the year 2000 and 2008 financial crisis, this is not a crash. It's a desperate, coordinated bailout of the banking system to protect underwater banks, happening precisely 24 hours before the world's physical silver market decouples. She said, "My 30 years tracking market cycles, including successfully predicting the 2000 tech bubble and the 2008 financial crisis, have taught me to look beyond the headlines, right? Listen to people in their basement. Today's action is a textbook paper smash." Again, this was probably Thursday of last week. "A deliberate weaponization of margin requirements designed to save deeply short bullion banks from the impending physical shortage." This is a physical driven rally. Okay. The margin hikes, right? So, we got something hilarious to look at next. The margin hikes aren't making any difference. But wait, there's more. Because remember last week, everybody was out there saying, silver's going to crash because the Bloomberg Commodity Index needs to rebalance itself. That happened. It's a 5-day process, Thursday, Friday of last week. And from what I understand, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. It's happening again today. The Bloomberg Commodity Index is rebalancing, but we've not seen the crash. So the margin hikes, right, have not been able to dent silver, strong silver. The commodity index rebalancing has not been able to dent silver. It's crazy what is happening right now in the world of precious metals. But here's a great visual. All right, we've been pretty serious. Let's have a little fun here. Let's go out and take a look at this. From our friend, Make Gold Great Again, he says, what it feels like for silver shorts when they're dumping 1 year of paper silver supply onto the market right now. So, right, so they're dumping like, the equivalent of 1 year silver mining supply into the market right now. And this is what it feels like to be them. Hold on. Let's get this up and boom. Let's just say not having much of an impact. I do want to say thank you to you for being here, but I'm not here without the help and support of our sponsors. First Mint, right? We talked about it a little bit earlier. They're a mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, where you can get world-class silver bullion products. The community down here has been so pleased. We get email after email, message after message about how thrilled you are when you work with First Mint. They've got great products, great service. It's really a premium retail silver buying experience. You can learn more about them at firstmint.com. And I want to say thank you to First Mining Gold. First Mining Gold is a Canadian development stage gold company. 2 massive projects, gold in the ground in Canada, multi-million ounce projects. Springpole in Ontario and Duparquet in Quebec. And I got a little secret for you. There aren't a lot of big. Oh, okay. Thank you. Upstairs, Susie said I got a super chat. Super chats are always super appreciated, never expected. Everything here is free. Remember, don't forget to subscribe. Back to First Mining Gold. There aren't many big multi-million ounce development stage gold projects with millions of ounces of gold in the ground in Canada. You can learn more about them at firstmininggold.com. Woo, we got more Sprott. Okay, the ETFs, SLV in the United States, that let's just say there's some speculation as to whether or not they own all the silver they purport to own. I'm not going to go there. But there's a ETF in Canada run by Sprott, which is very highly respected. Everyone feels 150% sure that they do have all the physical metal, and we're getting reports weekly now that the number of ounces of silver in that ETF continue to go up. UBS, the big Swiss bank, right? The Swiss bankers, remember? Right? Growing up, the Swiss banks, like secret Swiss bank accounts, the Swiss bankers are always known to be in the know. And we get a little story from them right here about smiley face. Oh, hold on. Oh, I forgot this. I'll come back to it. Hold on. All right, here we go. From UBS. This was actually on the Scottsdale Mint website. UBS headline, okay, silver price could potentially reach triple-digit levels. And then this article goes through all the reason, but it says with little fanfare, the Bullion Bank raises their silver forecast and their gold forecast. And apparently then he alluded to the fact that we could be in for triple-digit silver, right? Which was coined by Keith Neumeyer, the CEO of First Majestic Silver. It's getting crazy. I forgot. Okay, let's go back. So we know there's big stress on the paper markets. The COMEX in the United States of America, in the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, these people, they've been ruining our silver party for years, but now we're in a new world, a new paradigm. But is it even happening in China? Right? Oh, I apologize to everyone who loves India. I love India. India is a massive component of what's happening with silver. We'll talk about India. And there's so much going on in the next live stream. But let's talk about what's happening in China right now with silver. This was from Eric Young, King Kong 9888, right? Again, one of the most in the know and respected people in the silver and gold market. He says the member of the SGE, an old man, is telling us that on Friday, January 9th, the SGE had issues delivering physical silver. It seems they had to kick physical silver delivery forward to a future delivery date, just like the COMEX and the LBMA. Let's listen to this senior Chinese man. This is 24 seconds long. This is what? Oh, he's holding, I think they call those plates, a 15-kilogram silver bar, live from China. Well, recorded previously in China. Here we go.
Recent silver brick deliveries are failing, and now a single brick is hard to find.
As of yesterday, which was Friday, within the silver futures trading system, buyers demonstrated confidence by delivering a total of 64 tons, while sellers showed confidence in delivering just 1 ton. One particular entity, Usitu, held a position of 4.6 tons, which accounts for exactly 7% of that 64-ton total.
Recent silver brick deliveries are failing, and now a single brick is hard to find.
Recent? Now that he called them bricks. Gosh darn it. I keep having this issue with my stream. Hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. He called it a brick, right? I've heard him call them plates, whatever. Those are 15-kilogram bars. I can only imagine how heavy those are, but we're getting words of stress from the LBMA, stress from the COMEX, stress from the Chinese markets. Guys, it's happening everywhere, and it's happening like never, ever, ever before. Now, you may hear people say, and maybe you're one of them, I'm going to say a silver. Let's go back a year. 1 year ago today, silver was, let's say, $35 an ounce, probably lower, but nonetheless. And we talk about $85 silver 1 year from now, which would be today. You would say we were crazy. That sounds like a crazy number. Okay. If we talk about $200 silver, right, like Miss Bawden just talked about, you may think the same thing. But I'm going to show you, right? We cannot emphasize this enough that right now, we could have $200 silver. We could even have higher silver. And it's very easy to understand. And it's something that we will harp on continually. Here we go. This graphic from Silver Elephant Mining. Okay. 1980 was the silver quote unquote peak, right? That, well, not now, even in nominal forms, but 1980 had been this $50 silver peak. Don't forget, guys, if we just adjust that for official inflation, CPI adjusted based on the government numbers that some people speculate maybe aren't so accurate. But if we use the government numbers, we're going to get to a $210 silver price. But wait, there's more, because if you adjust the 1980 peak price, right, for M2 money supply growth over that period, we would have silver at $758 per ounce. But there's even more to consider, because when you look at the 1980 peak and you look at the 2011 peak even, think how different, take a step back and think how different things are now just from a silver, but it also stands for gold as well, but we'll focus on silver perspective. Okay. Back then, they didn't have exploding demand for physical silver coming from the electronics industry, coming from the EV battery industry, coming from the solar panel industry. They didn't have that. They didn't have, right, since 2016, a general stagnation or even a little bit of a downward trend in silver production. And even crazier to think about, they didn't have an empty pipeline of future silver supplies, because those fine folks at the COMEX and the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association in London, England, right, because they've artificially kept the price of silver down for 40, 50 years, very few people invested in exploring for silver or for, God forbid, developing new silver mines. Only the real true visionaries were out there doing that. Right? That makes where we are now way different. But wait, there's more, because guess what? In 1980, was China a factor? No. Okay, yeah, sure. China existed, but their economy was a small fraction of what it is today. What about India? Right? And that's just two, because there's more countries that have grown as well. Was India a factor in 1980? No. I'm telling you, Chinese people love silver and gold. Chinese and Indian people are in economies that are growing. More and more people are having disposable wealth that they can use to buy the metals. We are in a complete, so you look at those simple numbers and where we are today, they could even be much higher. I'm telling you guys, it's a great time to be alive and to be invested in the world of gold and silver. All right, I got a ton more to talk about. I'm going to do my best to get back on tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Incredible times. Let's keep our heads, and don't forget, warning. Oh, yeah. Okay, and I got to go look at the super chats. Thank you, guys. Please, please be responsible no matter what you do. I'm not a financial advisor, all that good stuff. But from my heart, I'll tell you, right, be prepared. There will be volatility. And okay, thank you. Upstairs, Susie's telling me things, recommending things that I need to do for you. I will ring the gong, and I will certainly say thank you for all the super chats. But first, I really think most importantly, please be responsible with however you're investing. And I don't want anybody to ever get into any type of financial trouble. Okay. There was more I wanted to say on that, but now my brain's not functioning properly. Let's go look at the super chats. I want to say thank you. Oh, wrong screen. That's not it. That's it. Comments and oh my gosh, 3 super chats. Hold on. Can I read this? See if I can pull this up. Darn it. I can't. My eyes are going bad. Renegade. All right, here we go. Renegade Designer. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Take off the Bears blindfold. Nope. Oh, when the weekly spot close is above $85. We've also got one here from, hold on. Hey, ODBG, Old Dirty Bastard Garage. Good to see you. Still my favorite username on YouTube. He's a longtime basement dweller. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. And 3 Diglets. 3 Diglets. I'm scared, Daddy. All right, guys, let's ring the gong. Okay, let's be ready for anything. That's the good luck golden gong. And no, that's not real gold. I wish. All right, guys. And hey, don't forget, if you're looking for a fun, interesting, and smart way to store something precious for you, right there hanging is a Dirty Man safe. You can store stuff in the ground just like the pirates did. Okay. Learn more about them at dirtyman.com, and they have a discount code RON10. Most important, thank you for being here, guys. Wow. Unbelievable time we're living through. Take care of yourself. Okay. And I'll see you. Yeah, you're important. I'll see you next time. Thank you.